Hello, my friends. This is Mrs. Sandine, recording from my home. Today, we're going to learn how to draw a royal Poinciana tree, which is sometimes called flamboyant or flamboyant in English, or in Spanish, flamboyant. The royal Poinciana tree or flamboyant is native of Madagascar, island far, far away from us, from the States. But you can see this tree in all the Caribbean. You can see this tree in I'm going to say the word parts of South America if they're warm, and also in the south and central part of Florida. Okay, so you will see a Poinciana tree, and I owned one a long time ago. All right, so I have my blank paper and have your pencil ready. Now, Poinciana trees, their trunks are really, really not that tall. If you find a really tall one, you're lucky, because most of them are short, but full of branches. So we're going to draw a trunk, not too thick, not too skinny. And if you notice, my trunk is a little wider in the bottom, and it gets thinner in the top. So that's just the trunk of the tree. 2 lines. They're not completely straight. They're not completely curved. From those 2 lines, depends on the tree, they might have 1 or 2 or 3 large branches. We're going to make just 2. So how you know it's 2? Because it's like the letter V. 1 and 2. And if you notice, I use 2 lines for each branch to make the thickness, like my finger, thickness of the branch. So it's like a cylinder. From those 2 large branches, we're going to make smaller branches. So we're going to make this branch a little longer first. See that? I'm going to make it longer first. And I'm going to put a line on the side. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And if you notice, they're diagonals. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay? Does it look like a flamboyant? No. Now, these branches that you have here, since they come from this part, we're going to make it slightly thicker. So add a second line next to each line. See that? Like magic, you made a regular line turning into thin cylinders. That one was kind of chubby, but that's okay. Okay, all right. And I'm just putting my pencil sideways so you can see, but I like to draw like this, but it's okay. All right, so now we have many branches. Now from these branches, we're going to call this the large, medium. We're going to draw small branches. 2 small branches. You can make 3, but let's do 2 just to start. 2 small branches from every medium-sized branch. It does not matter if it looks like mine. The truth, it does not matter, because flamboyants are not a perfect shape. They can be any shape. The only thing is they do have a lot of either leaves or flowers on the top when they flower. Okay. If you want to add an extra branch here, you can. Like I can make this one like longer and then add a skinny branch there. Okay. So we have our basic shape. So now if you want to put the grass, just put a line on the side like this. And the trunks of the flamboyants are actually really big in the root system. Sorry, the root system. Sometimes it breaks the ground. Okay. So flamboyants are full of leaves or full of flowers. Once they flower once a year, by the way. And they're like little bunches. You see that? They're not perfect. They're not perfect flowers. No. So with your pencil, you're going to draw little bunches, almost like little cotton balls. You know how you do the clouds? Well, just make it tighter. And we can fix them later. I'm not worried about that now. All right, just little like cotton balls, just tight. Instead of loose like clouds, you're going to make them tighter. Why? Because the flowers from far away, that's what they look like. So, all right. See that? It's starting to look like a tree. It won't look like a flamboyant de truth until way later, but that's okay. The idea is to learn how to draw a tree. So yeah, that way your tree doesn't look like a circle and a stick, right? You can learn how to draw a tree. You just have to do it in parts. And you have to be patient with yourself. You see that? So I have like little bunches everywhere. Can we make more? Of course we can make more. But I just want to show you. Now, in the classroom, we will be using watercolors. But those of you that are watching me online, you might want to use markers because maybe you don't have watercolors. Maybe, I don't know. So I'm just going to show you the idea. The same idea will be with a brush. It will be tiny little specks, tiny little shapes, like little cotton balls, like really tiny. See that? Little tiny cotton balls all over. Okay. And I'm just going to do one side so that way the video is not so long. But you see, like little cotton balls. Is it perfect? No. They're all the same? No, they're different. But they look like little clouds, but made out of color. See that? Now, flamboyants, or royal poincianas, you can call them, they come in reds. They come in like orange reds or orange, bright orange. So we're going to put some orange, a dab of like a yellow orange here. When you paint with me, you probably can use a little bit of yellow because if your brush is wet, that yellow with the orange will turn into a light orange, right? Okay. All right, you see that? Oops, I just dropped something. I'm gonna put some more here. And sometimes they're red, like the ones that I had in my house. They were a mix between orange and red, so you can put a dab of red too. Same thing with those skinny brushes later on in the class. And by the way, I'm projecting this, doing this video because my document camera is not working that well. So I have to improvise, and to improvise the right way, so that way you have an idea, okay? In the classroom, we're going to practice. That's what we're doing. We're going to practice first, so that way you gain confidence in drawing a tree. And your trees don't look like a circle and a stick, like a lollipop, no. Okay, you can make them a little bit fancier. All right, you see that? All right, so that's the flamboyant. Now, what I did here is I used a marker to color the trunk of the tree and the branches. So that's what I did. I colored. Of course, when you use brushes, you're just going to be careful and use the thin brushes. But we're going to do that little by little. No big deal, no drama. Okay. And I'm just going to color it right there. This trunk is actually pretty thick compared to a regular flamboyant. But the one in my house was really, really thick. I just don't have a picture handy right now. It had a lot of small branches. But it didn't flower a lot. It was green all the time. All right, you get the idea. Okay, so you go over your branches, you check your lines, and so forth. Okay, all right. So that's the tree. Remember, trunk, 2 large branches, then medium branches, and then the tiny ones, the smaller branches. And then when you color, you see they're like little specks, like little tiny microscopic clouds of color. And then the colors would be the flamboyant tree, or the royal poinciana is called also, which is oranges and reds and yellows, like super bright, super energetic. Okay, so that's your flamboyant tree today. Thank you for watching. Adios.